All right, so in practice, how do you actually avoid getting a surprise renewal? Let's talk about some common things that you can do. The first is you gotta demand access to your data. Like I said, you can't manage what you can't measure. And if you don't have a consistent pulse on how your health plan is performing, you are destined for surprise. Now, you need a broker who's gonna collect this information every month, digest it, and put it into a format that you can comprehend. You know, if your plan is running 20% higher than expected, guess what? You're gonna get a pretty significant renewal. So now you can start planning ahead of time. And if your broker has an underwriting background, guess what? They can let you know 6 months or more ahead of the renewal what it's actually gonna look like. And now you're not waiting 30, 45, or even 90 days to get an idea of what next year is gonna look like. Now you got a 6 to maybe 9 month roadmap of what you can do to start to execute on now to make sure that you are not surprised. If you demand access to your data, you can use that data now to prepare, and you can use that data to plan for the long haul. The other big thing that you can do as an employer is change the way that you're currently financing healthcare. And what do I mean here? Well, there's a lot of employers out there that are fully insured, right? You pay a level premium every single month, only varies based on headcount. You know exactly what you're gonna pay, and there's a comfort in that. But there's other funding arrangements out there. There's a level funded arrangement where you can participate in the good or potentially bad experience of your plan, or you can go all the way to a self-funded arrangement, which means you now are paying kind of two buckets. One is a fixed cost bucket of certain things, administrative costs, stop loss costs, medical management, you name it. And then the other piece is the claims. And the beauty part about that piece is you can manage that piece. When you're in a self-funded environment, you can put in risk mitigation strategies. You can't do that in a fully insured environment. You buy what you get, you're all bundled. A lot of times you're gonna have the carrier that owns their pharmacy benefit manager. There's all sorts of incentives baked in there. But when you start going self-funded and you start carving out different things, you now have the ability to have a significant impact on the most costly events in your plan. When you move into a self-funded environment, you also now have the ability to align your health plan with partners that have your best interest in mind. You understand how they're paid, what they're incented to do. You pick the right partners. Picking the right partners is one of the biggest things that you can do to avoid a surprise renewal. And lastly, you gotta consider building long-term strategy. 1 year decisions don't work. You end up doing the same thing year over year over year because you don't have enough time. Companies that are successful managing their healthcare spend build a multi-year strategy with their broker, and then they execute on that strategy. Yet they're nimble enough to change it when they need to. Bringing a long-term strategy to the table is really, in my opinion, what differentiates a broker from a trusted advisor.